We are here reviewing the MOTU Origins Wave 13, and we are sharing our predictions for the upcoming Walmart Collector Con that is right around the corner. So come join the discussion right now on Toy Habits Live. And before we go live, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can be alerted to future live streams so you can get in on the discussion. Hey everyone, welcome back to Toy Habits. I'm Michael.
And I'm the Toy Sorceress.
And you are watching Toy Habits Live, and it is great to be back as we've missed you so much. So sound off in the comments below and let us know you are here. And we have a new face making her debut on the channel, and she's been busting her ass on the Toy Habits website for over a year now to bring you the latest breaking news. So everyone, she is the one and only Toy Sorceress. Toy Sorceress, how the heck are you?
I'm doing great, Michael. How are you doing today?
I am doing great. Super pumped to be here with everybody in the chat and with you, of course.
I'm very excited to be here. Stoked about our new Toy Habits Live. And we have a lot of people tuning in. So why don't we say hi to the chat?
Sounds good.
Hey, it's my buddies Customs. How you doing, my buddies Customs? Master Bushel Toy Hunter, how are you?
All right.
373.
I love it. Finally, Toy Habits has come back to YouTube.
Woohoo! Hey, Philip Ellis, how you doing? Scott Baker. German Retro Toys. Oh yeah, we're super excited to be talking about Wave 13. Oh, we got a special hello to Tidbits and Twine. How you doing, Kim? Woohoo, Kim! Clint Jorgensen. Hey, how's it going? All right, the diehards are here. Weird, fantastic toy adventures. How you doing? Payne's Toy Samples. How's it going, all? The Great Deceiver. Greetings. Hey, Oz is here. Ostramus Toys. How's it going, Oz? Pop Actors here too. Oh, hi. It's the Pride of Grayskull.
What's up, Pride of Grayskull? Good to see you.
Good to see you, my friend. Beast Mode. How's it going? Howdy. Weird Fantastic Toy Adventures. I'm not sure if I already said hi, but
you did.
Hello again. I did. Brick Something. Nelson A. Welcome. Oops. Cass, how you doing? Joey Curell. Tiglio Carbonite. Hi, Cora. How's it going? Total Manzila. We got a lot of people here tonight. Carlos. It's the Pink Panther. How's it going, guys? Yeah, still running away from Inspector Clouseau.
Yeah, we might not get to everybody just in this first batch of hellos, but you know,
yeah,
really
okay.
Amazing
we'll just
that everybody
more.
is
Attaboy. Yep. So we can get started. I'll just keep flashing these on here while we get into the show.
Sounds good. Yeah, so this it's funny, this whole YouTube channel has been a journey, and we figured out that like publishing news on our website is probably the fastest and most efficient way for us to get news to you with our day jobs. It was really becoming increasingly impossible to keep up with the flurry of news and making videos on YouTube. So we figured we will put the stuff out on our website. We will talk about this on a weekly basis on YouTube, and we can kind of combine the best worlds. And I think the best part of it is that we want to hear from you and your takes on the news as well. And, you know, getting to chat with everyone is really our favorite part about this.
I just want to give a shout out to Pub Actor. Sorry. Yes, we are super excited to be here. I think having this live once a week will give us a chance to recap all the exciting news that we're covering on the website. And also, we really wanted to interact with the community because that's a piece of it that we don't get to do when we're publishing articles and all the news. So this way, we want to hear from you guys. This is meant to be interactive, and we want to get into it with the community.
Yeah, and sounds good. And before we dive in, Daniel, thank you so much for the super chat. And Daniel runs a YouTube channel called Soundtracks with Birdman. He is part of an ever-growing soundtrack community where people can express their opinions and their memories of films they love. It's actually a really great channel. So make sure to head over to Soundtracks with Birdman and subscribe to his channel. All right. So Wave 13. Wave 13 seemed to hit out of nowhere. And of course, Palm Art Store,
Oh
who's
yeah.
located Frank and Sons collectible showcase down in Southern California, got this wave in. And funny story as to how we were alerted to this. I got a DM from Matt Lay from Facebook and immediately texted the Toy Sorceress because I was at work, couldn't buy these at that time. And so she actually bought these for herself and for me and a set for herself. So it was like, that's awesome.
Yeah, we like nabbed them just in time because of course they were sold out in a matter of 2 or 3 minutes. So it was
Yeah.
great timing. So thanks for the tip. And we want to show you Wave 13 live in hand. So that's something I don't know if you guys gotten to do. I know there are a couple of reviews out there for Wave 13 that's been floating around, but I think this is going to be fun because we can all talk about it here on the live stream. And we have some surprises for you. So stick around. Make sure that you're here. We got a surprise later on.
Oh, that's awesome. The Great
So
Deceiver
you
got
want to
his
dive
wave
in, Michael?
13. Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh wow, that's great. Fantastic. Does anybody else had any luck getting Wave 13?
Let's see.
So Blaine was at Frank and Sons this morning, and they officially are all out of stock and at what they had there. Got
yeah.
it.
Yes. And of course, the line is dead, right? So it's like, why would these things stay in stock? A punk with toys. Love the humor.
Exactly.
Where did you get Wave 13? So the Palm Art store had Wave 13 up for what? How long? A few minutes? A couple of, I
Just
don't know.
yeah, like 2 or 3 minutes. Just
Yeah.
long enough for me to place like 2 orders.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. It's funny because like I wanted to ask the chat too, like what wave are you on? So like getting the stuff so early from Palm Art really skews our like view of like what is out there like for the general public if you don't either live next to Frank and Sons or you are not Johnny on the spot or Jeanette on the spot with your Palm Art purchases. So I'm always wondering because it seems like Wave 12 is just starting to get out there right now. And it's really interesting because I see, comments and DMs from folks on Instagram that, and also people in other countries, like they're still on Wave 10 and things like that.
Yeah. So have you gotten your Wave 10 favors yet, Michael? I know they were like way behind
No.
schedule. I think I reviewed Randor like back in November, didn't I?
Yes. Yeah. I
Poor thing,
have
it's
not
been a
got
while.
those
I
yet.
got all my Snake Men and you don't have them yet.
Yes. Thank you, Emerald Knight Photos.
Yeah,
Yes.
smash
Please
that link.
smash that like button, everyone. So yeah, I mean, yeah, if we want to dive in, we can start with King Randor.
Yeah, definitely. Let's start with King Randor. Hi, Michael Lee. Thanks for the shout out. So I am going to show you guys King Randor in hand. And he is amazing. Just a FYI, King Randor and the Sorceress are my two Motu favorite characters in the world. So I call him Randy, lovingly. And so this is 2000X Randy right here. And you can see him in all his amazing glory. So he's got the same cape as the first version of King Randor, but it's in a lighter blue color that you can see here. And of course, he's got this really beautiful armor with a lot of detail. The gold color on it is actually pretty nice and shiny. It's not as flat as, let's say, the Masterverse Hero figure, which I was a little disappointed on the gold color on that. They did a much better job with this gold color plastic that you can see. And his skirt has like a ton of wonderful details molded into it. Um, and of course, he's got the one regular Motu leg on this side with kind of the light blue color and the furry boots. But then his right leg is kind of the more like armored bionic 2000X looking, and that wraps around the top portion of his boot too. So they didn't use the same boot on both legs here. They used different ones. And then he also has two different arm bracers as well. He's got the gold one, which is your standard Motu arm bracer over here. And then he's got a more stylized one in like a light blue color on this side, which is great. And then I don't know if you guys are familiar with, but the Motu Classics King Randor came with a similar staff like this, because this is 2000X inspired. And so taking a look at him and his face, it does look like a much younger King Randor. He is still the Burger King poster child. If you ask me, he still looks like the Burger King, but just with a little less years on him. And then he's got this really nice crown going there. And then if we pop his head off for a second, oops, I'm just going to show you what the back of his armor looks like without the cape. And so the back of his armor actually has a lot of nice detail on it right here. It's not like plain, it's got some sculpted detail. And then also, you can see the back of his skirting too, which is very nice. And Michael, I think, didn't you have one prepared where you kind of took some parts off so we can see what it looks like underneath the armor?
I did, yeah. So I got this idea from one of my BFFs, Kiko, on Instagram. So he was like, we need to see Randor without his armor, and we need to see him stripped down. So yes, here
That's
is what he
fantastic.
looks like
Are you
without his
hungry for a
armor.
Whopper?
Yeah, he looks
Thank
pretty
you, Pop
cool.
Actor. Now we all need Whoppers.
It is kind of cool. I've always wondered with the different colored legs, like, if you were actually like wearing like underwear under your, your furry loincloth, like how does this actually work? Like, those are the things that
It's like a unitard or leotard, or like like kind of like yoga pants.
yeah, exactly. But because King Randor's skirt can come off, which is actually pretty cool. You can actually do some cool things. You can actually, I just threw the skirt on Battle Armor He-Man, and so he kind of looks a little bit more armored up. And if you want to do like a head swap with King Randor, then you can actually make a Battle Armor King Randor, and it kind of looks pretty cool that way. So there's a lot of things you can do.
That is so cool.
Yeah,
that is so cool. So I have the actual, because I did able to buy a couple extra ones. I want to keep Randor closed, and now you're making me tempted to open him up. But just if anyone's interested, this is what King Randor looks like on his card back, and he is absolutely gorgeous. I do have a closed King Randor up on my wall over there, as you can see, next to, of course, the Sorceress. But because he's my favorite, I did have to get an extra. And we've got the gorgeous, Rise of the Snakeman logo along the top, retro play over here, and of course the nice scaling on the bubble and the 2000X logo sticker that's here on the bottom, which is really awesome. Then when you turn it around, you can see that young King Randor battling out with Skeletor and that gorgeous artwork. And of course, the rest of the Wave 13 cross sell with Snake Tila, the Snake Trooper, and Slamurai, which is a great lead in into the next. So Black Phoenix says, is the bubble scaly? Yes, it actually is scaly. So it's not just like a flat bubble with some pattern textured into it. It actually is, and I don't know if you can see that if I turn it sideways, kind of sculpted into the plastic. So it's definitely a scaly bubble. It's very cool. So with that, do we want to move on to the next one?
Sure. Yeah. So here is Snake Tila, and I think it's so funny because I was like, you know what, Snake Tila is cool. She's a repaint, but actually she's actually one of the, I think, more cooler figures that I've seen, and she uses that same buck that came with the Tila that came with the um, sorry, I'm totally blanking on
It came with the Zor set, the Tila and Zor.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. So I was like, that would screech in my
You're
head
welcome.
for some reason. And so, but there
Oh,
are
it's
some
totally
subtle
fine.
differences to her outfit. So they actually molded on some shoulder armor, which is nice, and they actually gave her a place to hold her sword. So I think that's awesome. And the snake texturing actually came out really, really well. If you can see, her face
Oh
up
yeah.
close, yeah, there's some really cool snake texturing that you can see, and the lines are really neat, and just the way that the whole kind of total package came together, I thought was really, really nice. And the snake texturing on the inner thighs and also the outer thighs is really cool, and just the whole like green theme makes her look really, really creepy. And I actually like that they had used this particular version of Tila's head sculpt because,
Yeah,
well, one, she's got a high pony, but also like the smirk on her face and like her look is really, really, really well for this figure.
you're
So
absolutely right. And did you notice the added shoulder pauldrons that they
mhm.
sculpted onto her, because that's new. Yeah.
Yes, definitely new. Yeah, so she also comes with a new sword too, which is nice because it has some really nice texturing on it as well. And so I think they
Fantastic.
did a really good job kind of paying nod to the 2000X version of these figures. And it's interesting because Snake Tila came from the 2000X MYP cartoon, but she doesn't get a 2000X sticker on her box art like only King Randor did. So I thought that was interesting. Another thing to point out too is the boots are also brand new, so they are different sculpt. There's a
Oh
different
yeah.
wrap on the side, and there's also this like really cool like kind of snake dagger feeling to it too. So looks really,
Amazing.
really cool. And
And I was just gonna say, because this is cracking me up that you talked about King Randor. Yes, Michael is the model for the Randy skull. I totally agree with you.
yeah,
I had to flash Kim's comment on there. But go
thank you.
ahead, Michael.
So yes, so I got this idea again from Kiko Prime from Instagram, and he's also I think watching this as well. Her snake armor from her other figures actually fits really, really well and looks really, really neat too. So this is another option you can go with. And I was actually wondering if this would actually fit with her ponytail, but
Yeah.
it actually fits
Oh, yeah.
perfectly over her ponytail. And I was like, well, maybe can we like wrap it around and see how that fits? But no, it was actually fits better if you just put it over
Oh,
her
that's
like
perfect. And then it looks like the shoulder pauldrons don't like get in the way, right? It
that.
still like nicely like wraps over it.
Yeah, yeah. It's really cool, and it just you can kind of change up how you want to have that look for Tila, and of course she comes with her green snake staff too. So it's kind of
Oh
a
yeah,
cool
that's fantastic.
little
And if
repaint,
I'm not
but
mistaken, yeah, that sword I think is the same sword that came with the Tila Zord 2-pack,
yes,
which they now colored in green. Yes, that one
yeah.
was like
So
in that kind of yellowy plastic color, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. All right.
yes, Toys
Um,
of Time Gone By was saying
oh yeah,
that. Oh.
you're good.
She's wondering why they didn't sculpt scales on Tila. So I think what they were trying to do was, I guess, use the paint, the paint lines to, I guess, sculpt scales on her. So I think it's,
Mhm.
you know, for a figure that's whatever $18 or $20 or $30 at Walmart, they're not going to sculpt actual scales on her.
Exactly.
Uh,
Yeah, that I think that was part of what allowed Mattel to release her, because she was basically a repaint. They didn't have to do any new tooling for her except for the shoulder pauldrons, and I think that's a hint that we may get a 2000X style Tila in the future, because
cool.
now they already have the torso sculpt. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that would be
with
awesome.
the little holster, the sword holster in the back. So that's what that looks like.
Yes, trying to avoid
Yeah,
new tools,
exactly.
of course, right?
Exactly right.
Yes.
So
Pop
let's move
actors
on to
passing on
the
that
next
Tila, which,
clip.
I
Oh,
think I've seen in the comments too, like, people, this Tila is hit and miss for people. And I think, I think when you got yours, you were like, eh.
yes. I'm probably just going to keep her closed. But if anyone's interested in what she looks like, um, yeah, totally pumped for these two Oz. This is what Tila looks like in her package. Same, Rise of the Snake Man, same little like scaly bubble. She's got that Rise of the Snake Man sticker on the front, which looks really cool. And then when you turn her around, she's like battling it out with snake armor, He-Man there. She's looking totally badass. And then we do have King Hiss in the background, um, waiting there in his snake mode. And then you can see again the same cross cell that we had before.
Nice. And
Fantastic.
hey, Troy, very nice to see you in the chat. The new torso and boots give us a 2000X Tila, but also give that torso in gold. So we could give that battle armor Tila. Ooh, I like that battle armor Tila from the
Oh,
battleground.
Battleground Tila.
Yes.
Dude, that would be so cool with the
Great.
long hair.
Mm-hmm. That would be
That would be
awesome.
amazing.
Yes, it
Yes, it
would.
would. Um,
Let's see.
well,
Joseph K. I live in San Francisco. Do you find these at Target? No, actually, we picked these up from Palmart store online. So these are actually not slated to be out until June. So I think for a general release, you're going to have to wait a couple months, which is
yeah,
I'm always impatient.
I know.
So
Yeah. And if anybody wants to check out some incredible close-up photography of these, um, well, Michael takes snake Tila pictures and look great. And I think the rest of them on our site, but go to toyhabits.com just to plug for the website, and you can see our photographic review. We did a much more scaled back toy review on Wave 13. A, because I was trying to get all four figures out at once, and B, because we knew we were going to cover them here live, but we have some incredible still shots to check out on the website. So make sure you check those out.
yes,
Great.
Oz,
So
yes, the
let's
green
dive
goddess can
into
have her green staff. And all right, let's move to Mr. Slamurai.
Mr. Slamurai. This guy is really cool. I actually really love how he turned out. He's like super white. They did an incredible job with him. And essentially, he's a repaint of Ninjor. He does have a different logo on his chest. I know Mega J was trying to decipher that. I don't think we figured out what it is yet. But Jay, if you find out, let us know. But he does have a different logo on his chest than Ninjor here. I can show you Ninjor. So this one's got kind of like that little dragon wrapping around a dagger. And unlike Ninjor, he has human feet with the little furry boots. And Ninjor, if you remember, does have those, the monster feet or the demon feet there. And besides that, he's pretty much the same thing as a Ninjor. He's got that little slot back here, so you can put his sword or his nunchucks into there. And then actually, his sword does slot into this little slot in the back. Hard to do when I'm holding them this way. Or so you can slide that in back there. Or you could also take his little bow and arrow, still let go of it. Ooh, sorry about that, Slamurai. And you could slide that in to the holder on his back as well, so that he could easily always be stowing all of his weapons. So here you can see, now he's like wielding around his nunchucks and sword. But this guy's really cool. I love how white he is. I love, the gray furry loincloth with this teal color belt and then the teal arm bracers. That looks really great. And, he does have a painted face with his little eyes showing right there. But, having Slamurai, and then so you have the good side and then you have the bad side. So this is kind of your classic like Snake Eyes versus Storm Shadow, ninja battle here, which is great. A really cool rivalry. So having both of these on display on your shelf is super amazing. So I love that they did this. Um, and if we want to take a look at his package, and he looks just incredible. And the reason I have two of each is because I did try and buy a set for Michael before they sold out, and then I was able to actually get a set to ship for him. So I'll just keep a couple carded ones. But Slamurai doesn't have any additional sticker on the front, just the scaled bubble, and again the same Rise of the Snake Man logo on the top. And then on his artwork, here we go with a very cool tease, as Mattel likes to do. And we have Lord Grass right here fighting against Samurai. So the cool thing about him is that he is a reuse of a lot of parts. He's got Clawful's claw right here, and that is Squeeze's head. And I think like the regular Motu body, I forget the other parts on it, but we do show him on our article the other pieces. And then he has King Hiss's shield right here, just in another color. So they could easily create Lord Grasp. And seeing this image, especially because he has a shared head with Squeeze, and we already found Squeeze's link for Walmart on our website. If you check that out on our website, you can find the link for that. I think it's probably a slam dunk guarantee that we're going to get a Lord Grasp hopefully in the future.
Yes, that is so cool. Yeah, this wave is really interesting because it's characters that some should have come out in '88, and some characters that are kind of ripped right from the MYP cartoon. So it's kind of like an interlude between like your core Motu characters and the remaining characters that they really have left to make. So I'm actually digging this particular wave. So
yeah, I think they turned out incredible. I mean,
yeah,
they're just
all right.
amazing.
So the last figure that we're going to talk about today is the Snake Trooper, and I think I really love this sculpt, and I was like, okay, they're just going to reuse the entire mold for the Horde Trooper, and they actually made a couple cool changes. So actually, the boots and the shoes actually are from Grizzlor. So it's interesting, just with more of
Oh
a
yeah.
shinier paint app on the boots and things like that. They did add some gold color to the armor, and if you look at the regular black Horde Trooper that came with the PowerCon exclusive pack, you can kind of see the details that they've added, and they actually made the little symbol here. They painted this outer circle that they left blank, so the symbol on the Snake Trooper is a little bit bigger than the symbol on the Horde Trooper. And I love the Motu shoes. So the bottom half of the Horde Trooper's boots are actually different. So they kind of cut them off and put the like Grizzlor type of boots and loafers on the Snake Trooper. So he still has his action feature, which is cool, but actually you can kind of see his head a little better here, kind of when his armor is down. So I think one thing about this is the head does kind of sit a little bit too kind of munched in to this collar, and so it would have been neat if this was raised a little bit. But I think overall, for more of an army builder type of character, I think he looks pretty cool. And he does come with his shield. It has a little snake armor logo on it, which is cool, and just the regular Horde Trooper staff that he comes with. So lots of cool things that they did with the Snake Trooper, with basically a 90% or 85% part reuse with a new head sculpt. So really cool.
So that is so funny that Bizio. I'm so sorry, I'm totally messing up your name. But he does kind of look like Elmo. That's hilarious.
All right, Unicron's left nut, still my favorite user ID on YouTube. I don't know if anybody can beat that. He looks like he's screaming in horror being trapped in that armor. And I mean, it's a snake cyborg. So if I was turned into a cyborg, I'd probably do the same, but I probably want to act more like RoboCop than a scared snake cyborg.
Definitely. I want to give a big shout out to the Baroness of Toys. Thank you for joining us today. Woohoo! Uh, here's one that maybe we'll talk about later. When is Mossman
Yeah.
coming? Well, that's something we might dive into in the next segment.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, actually, what's your favorite figure from this wave? And if folks in the chat have a favorite figure as well, would love to hear about it.
Yeah, please chime in. And in the meantime, Enrique, you cracked me up. Yes, I will give you guys a tour of the toy shelf behind me, and maybe the rest of my toy room someday.
But
Thank you very much. I do have some.
What's your favorite one out of this wave? Toy Sorceress.
So, me, of course, it is Randy. Randy is my favorite. Randy.
And so is Tidbits
it
and
is
Twine.
the Burger King. Yeah. Oh, Tidbits and Twine. You gotta love that Randy, right?
Randy.
How about you? Randy is Randy.
I actually like Snake Tila the best out of this round for some reason. I think her sculpt, like the additions that they put on her and just the paint app in general, I thought were really well executed. And I don't have that. I think it was either a Toy Fair exclusive or an SDCC exclusive Snake Tila. So I'm happy to get her. So
you're a happy camper now that you got her in the line, and it's so cool to see how like the like Motu Classics went into like such a deep dive of characters, and now we're kind of going full circle with Origins, and they're doing the same thing, and we're getting like those really deep cuts that we probably never would have gotten, as of course in the original line. You'd think that Origins was just going to be kind of a tribute and an homage to just the vintage figures, and we would be done with it. But we're getting so much more, and it's amazing how they're able to kind of dive into all these kind of like sublines of the Motu universe.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think it's great. And Modi from Manila, why do you think there's a holdup on the release of comic book Manny Faces for the same wave? So I think what is going to be happening with mini comic Manny Faces and he's going to be the fifth figure in wave 14. And so I think Duplico took the fifth figure slot in wave 13. So I think, yeah, I guess we'll be chatting about Duplico as well too. But wanted to switch gears and talk about the upcoming Walmart Collector Con. Now, who in the chat was aware of Walmart Collector Con that's coming up on the 16th? So it's funny. I was watching a Star Wars live stream a couple weeks ago and first got wind of this this event when they casually mentioned that Clone Commander Jesse will be available for pre-order. So, it's just kind of funny, just the announcements and like where the information comes out. Like, I don't think I've seen any announcements for Walmart Collector Con, and it's definitely something. It's like, if you're Walmart, like, wouldn't you want to broadcast this?
Yeah, they're being kind of awfully quiet about it. So it leads us to wonder, what do they have in store for us? And on that note, I think we have somebody here who can to help answer that question. In order to celebrate our kind of reboot and launch for Toy Habits Live, we have an amazing friend of the channel that's here to join us. And at this time, we'd like to welcome in our friend here, Mega J Retro. Hey guy, how's it going?
Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back. This is amazing. Holy crap.
Jay.
Oh, thank you so much, Jay.
I apologize for that. I think me and Michael both hit the button at the same time and let you in.
Oh, you never have to apologize, guys. Never.
Yeah.
I'm
Mega J.
the software.
Mega J is our surprise mega special guest, and he's actually here to talk about and join us for our Walmart Collector Con discussion and predictions. And he's actually hot off the heels from his live stream last night discussing the debacle dubbed the Target Holothon. So, yes, the one and only Mega J Retro. So happy to have you. And, you know, we were talking on your show last night just around your fantastic topic regarding kind of online big box retailers doing these virtual cons and the artificial nature of kind of making these toys that we love appear so scarce. So we have Walmart Collector Con right around the corner too.
Yeah, it's as you know, Michael. I'm not a fan of the predatorial marketing tactics of these big box stores putting on events. You know what I mean? I just don't understand how that works. And then the false scarcity of some of the products which is only available during these events. And then fans just have to scrounge and claw at every little morsel that they toss us. It seems so disingenuous, and I'm not really a big fan of it. So and I'm not a fan of Target's shipping. I mean, like I mentioned that last night. So I've given up. I've given up on Target. I may take a look because Jesse's one of my favorite clone troopers.
Yes.
He's unfortunately he was one of the guys at the end who no spoilers ahead. He did something happened to him at the end of Order 66, and again, not gonna spoil that for anybody who hasn't seen it. But if you haven't, definitely go watch the last season of Clone Wars. It's freaking amazing. So
Yes.
yeah, very very happy that Jesse's actually coming into the fray, and I'm gonna try and see what happens. So yeah, awesome.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same way about you just around these big box retail cons. And, I think, they say, pre-orders will go live at certain times in the morning, but, it ends up with the case with Walmart and Target that things, either get bought up by bots and they're gone in the first couple minutes. And so I think with the amount of information that companies know about us as adult collectors and folks that are driving 25% of revenue in the adult category for toys, they should know that they need to make this stuff widely available and give us quantities that we need, because you end up pissing so many people off with these cons, and it's horrible.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, Jake. Go ahead, Jake.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I think the whole point in these companies obviously is for their bottom line to make money. They're businesses after all, right? They're trying to sell toys to us. So limiting the number of toys that are out there and driving up the aftermarket price doesn't really do much for Hasbro, Mattel. Yeah, it makes their brands more popular, but wouldn't it make more sense to just produce a little bit more figures and sell them out to, the demand's there? They'll still sell out. They'll make more money. And, you don't want to turn people off. So I know it's very frustrating to collectors that they have to pay double or triple the price after the fact. So it just begs the question why they limited it so much. I know you don't want to flood the shelves and then have things sit, but just make enough for everyone. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it as we spoke of the last night on my stream, there's a term now that a lot of people are throwing around called eBay exclusives, and that's just getting ridiculous. I mean, we have a hard enough time finding these things in store as it is, and the one place where a lot of people have supposedly equal footing is going to be online. And that's literally been taken away from us, with these collecticons, what's it called, holothons, all these different, online events, and I think a lot of people are just frustrated, like myself. I mean, like I don't wake up at the crack of dawn. It's around noon here when things take off, but it's still in a lot of ways. The main problem being that instead of having enough for everybody, we just have people scrounging and clawing at the opportunities, and that's not even talking about bots. And we can get into that in the next segment. But I mean, just crazy. I mean, what happened this past weekend was just stupid in my opinion.
So
Yeah.
Jay, were you aware that the holothon was going to go online on Target yesterday? Because I had no idea. I actually got a DM from somebody on Facebook, and they're like, "Oh, were you able to get any of the the new NECA TMNT stuff?" Because I probably, like everybody else, is looking for that awesome accessory pack because I just like love those little baby turtles, and I need a set, and I can't find them anywhere near me. And I was actually shocked because I had no clue that Target was going to put them online. I had searched for them a couple days before, and there were no listings for it. And then all of a sudden, it popped up and probably sold out in 2 or 3 minutes. So, did you know that they were going to list those? No,
So I know by the virtue that I knew about it last year, so I
mm-hmm.
was aware of it, and of course, friend of the channel, both of our channels, Matt Hatter, he is always on the ball with these things. Anything turtles related, he's there, right? So like he makes it his mission, just like much of us here in the Motu community, we make it our mission to search out these things. So he has his ear to the ground for TMNT, and he was well aware of it and sent 2 notices prior. So it's just like anything else. For Motu, we can rely on Toy Habits to be a great resource all year round, and people rely on Toy Habits for their news and information and their top notch reporting. But it's the same thing with all content creators on that level, right? If somebody specializes with TMNT, like Hatter does, he's going to make himself aware of it, and he's going to let his audience know exactly what time to be there. So I did know that, but my resolve now is just to forget it. I've gotten to the point now where frustration has led me to the idea that I don't need this right now. As much as I would love those baby turtles, I mean, like I'll figure out another way to get them. And we can talk about that later on in the segment. But the reason my penchants for more like patience has run out, actually, now that I'm going to put it that way, is every time I've received a shipment from Target, it's been in a bag. It hasn't been in a box. It hasn't been, and we're not talking about like a bag which is bubble wrapped. No, we're talking about just a straight mailer bag. And every single time that it's been delivered, it has been kicked around. It has been punted. It's been like short of left in the rain. You know what I mean? It's been just disrespect, right? By so many different carriers that I just cannot be bothered anymore. I just can't. And I'd rather reach out to some friends, and just like come put it out my channel. And every time I say something about it, like 5 or 6 people are like, "Hey Jay, I found one. Do you need it?" And that seems to me a little bit more secure. And but by that notion, the community provides. And you know what? Everybody in this community has been so generous, and that really has been the boon for many collectors in this community. And this is the reason why we have to support each other. We have to help each other. That's what's really important, and really has helped me to complete my collection in so many ways.
Yeah, I think that's so on point, because I think we are all in this collecting community together, and if we don't help each other out, then I think that's one of the best things about doing this, is, for me at least, is getting to know everybody in the community. Like, my DMs are always open on Instagram. You can always chat me. I will write you back. So, I love that part of it, and I think it's really special when people look out for each other like that.
But in short, yes, I did know about it.
Oh, okay. Well, that's great. I guess I was out of the loop. I'm not as in tune with the TMT news as I should be. I need to find some other sources, I guess. So Craze Colonel is saying that he's pretty sure that the restock of TMNT stuff will be the 4th week of the holothon. I wonder if is that based on something that's from past history, that maybe they restock after a couple weeks, or I don't know, where the knowledge is, but maybe that's difficult.
So as we mentioned before, news travels fast, and Matt Hatter, did mention that if history is proven correctly, every single time an item disappears off of a NECA a sale, whether it's on their site or Target or Holothon or wherever, it seems to be normal practice that they relist another stock session shortly thereafter. He calls it Miyakamba, which I think is hilarious. I thought that was hilarious when he said
That
it.
was funny.
Yeah, basically, we got you. You know what I mean? We'll take care of you. But it's not really an olive branch. It's more over. We got some more money coming. I mean,
Yeah.
like all these suckers are all these suckers are just willing to like chomp at the bit and that kind of idea because they know that they're going to get the numbers. This falls into a very specific strategy. I mean, this is why Michael, myself, and yourself, Toy Sorceress, this is why we call it predatory marketing. This is not a fair system, right? This is not put it out on the shelf. If put ample supply out there for the demand. No, this is you're going to be dangling a carrot in front of me, and I'm going to be like an ass, just trotting along trying to catch that carrot. And we're gonna get to the Emerald City eventually onto freaking Yellow Brick Road, right? And all this time, I'm just a flying monkey trying to get prize, right? I mean, that's right. If nobody knows what I'm talking about,
I think you more of the lion heart, the lion. He's got a kind heart. I'm gonna call you a flying monkey.
Yeah, and I agree with Color O'Connor. Yeah, it is just it's stressful these days. If you don't get things on pre-order and right away, it like creates that anxiety, right? And it's like we don't need that as collectors, and it's like we got to find a different way to get this stuff. But we do have a collector con that's coming up, and we have oops, sorry, there we go. We have figures that I know of one that's confirmed because it was announced on the Star Wars live stream. But as many people know or may not know or notice, that we write news and articles on the website from toy lines we enjoy. Like, we don't cover everything, and we just can't possibly cover everything. So we're really selective about what we cover. And so we were thinking last week, we know one confirmed figure, which is the Star Wars Black Series figure. And, we basically put together an article just, kind of outlining what we think might go up for Walmart Collector Con. And so, of course, there is Clone Commander Jesse. And I'm actually really looking forward to this one because I collect the clone commanders from the Black Series, and I just think he looks awesome. I love the Imperial symbol on his head and just his whole outfit with the double pauldrons. It looks really cool. His camo looks pretty awesome too. So I'm actually really looking forward to this one, and I hope he doesn't sell out by the time I get him.
Yeah, that is a fairly detailed figure for Black Series. It's got a lot of accessories and accoutrement all over his armor, and it looks like the Black Series figures are really coming into their own now with all of the detail and everything, and the sculpting and kind of like the paint wash and stuff. I think over the years, if you look at kind of the first few waves of Black Series and where they are now, they've evolved so much, and they're just incredible.
Yes, and Clint, I actually don't collect I think the Toy Sorceress collects more than I do, so she's got actually a much diverse line. But yeah, I think I might collect more in mass than she might, but it's only limited to maybe 4 or 5 lines. But she collects a lot.
So Michael, you can tell them why it's my fault that you have this
geez.
big Star Wars collection now.
Yeah. So interesting story. So I've had a love-hate relationship with Star Wars for a very long time. Like, I love to collect the line, and I love what it means to me. I grew up with Star Wars, but for some reason I would buy these toys, I would resell them after a couple years, and I've been doing this for probably the last 20 years. And the Toy Sorceress wrote an article about the Return of the Jedi retro collection figures, and I think I wasn't aware that they had dropped that morning from that Star Wars live stream because I really wasn't paying attention to it. Now I was like, whoa, these are actually the figures that I played with as a kid, and so that really got me back into Star Wars. And so, like, of course, I've watched The Mandalorian and a lot of the newer animated series, and so I just kind of fell off the deep end again with Star Wars. So it's thank you.
That was a slippery slope, I know, I must say.
It was, but yeah, I think I guess running down this list, typically in the past, Walmart CollectorCon puts up their WWE Superstars figures for pre-order, and so I think we've just had some pre-orders with Wave 4, being Mr. T, Ravishing Rick Rude. No, sorry, Mr. T, The Rock, and who is it? Typhoon. Yes, and Macho Man. And it's funny because I was talking to Charlie _5.5 Carlos, who runs this amazing WWE Superstars and MOTU Origins Facebook group, and he noticed that there might be some running changes from Wave 4 and Wave 5, and it actually might be a 6-figure wave, because if you look at the figures that on their cross sell from Wave 4 and Wave 5, basically the Rock and the Macho Man are shared across Wave 4 and Wave 5. And so I think we could see Ravishing Rick Rude kind of go up for pre-order as well as the Earthquake. So I'm actually very looking forward to a Ravishing Rick Rude figure.
He's pretty cool. So Jay, do you collect this line as well?
You know what? Here's the thing about that. I mean, I tried collecting the line as much as I could, but the reality is they just don't support it up here as much as other lines. Like, of course, it doesn't help that Motu sort of did its own thing, right? But the biggest consideration was that they just, like, the only wave we ever got was the Shawn Michaels wave, pretty much Wave 1, I think. Right. And I never saw Shawn Michaels, and I never saw the Ultimate Warrior. Right. Somebody had to send me the Ultimate Warrior. Right. That's that. I would love to see Ravishing Rick Rude in the Iways. And I would love to pit him up against Jake the Snake Roberts, because their rivalry was epic, during that run, So yeah, I would definitely like to see him in the stores. I love the fact that he comes with soft goods. Love the fact that he comes with his robe. Again, wonderful tip of the hat to that era back then.
Yes, yeah, I agree. I love the Simply Ravishing, and I think it would have been great to have some other, like, I think somebody mentioned too, just having like Jake the Snake Roberts's face, on his tights as well, or I think he had that too at some point in the rivalry. So, but oh yeah, it was Clint's. Oh wait, Jake the Snake Roberts' wife's face. Wait, I think I read that wrong the first time. That's not cool.
Yeah, I think that was the start of the rivalry. He as is typical of his MO, he invited a woman into the ring, and in terms of heel setups, why would she have gone to the middle of the ring? It just doesn't make sense. You as a kid, you sort of buy it, right? You sort of say, oh wow, it's another girl, but then she gets up there and she says, no, I don't want to kiss you because I'm married, and then it's like, well, it doesn't matter, right? Your husband could never satisfy you the way I could satisfy you. And of course, he goes and nearly assaults the poor girl. And who comes running into the ring? Of course, it's Jake the Snake Roberts. So, it was a huge, ridiculous setup. I mean, it was just dumb. But again, you're a kid, you follow it, you love it, right? And then the rivalry just kept going. Is that belt sculpted into his waist? I mean, the other belts were actually not.
It looks like it.
Yeah, it is, because he would often have his tights custom made, and he did make the Intercontinental title belt as part of his tights, and so this is a nod to that. And so yeah, he would put his rivalries on his tights. He would put and his intros were you can't do that today, but his intro,
Well, I mean, it's no worse than the Attitude Era. The
Yeah.
Attitude Era pretty much pushed, as far as you could, PG wise. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure they crossed that PG line multiple times. It was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Um,
He,
but
let's just
yeah,
say when he comes into the ring, he makes you blush, right? This little show.
but yes, I definitely think yes, I think you're right, Adam. Yeah, I think that outfit is from WrestleMania 4, where Rude beat the Warrior for the IC belt. Yeah, the Warrior had a fantastic meteoric rise and meteoric fall in the WWE. But yeah, I think the other holdout from the Superstars, which WWE Superstars line that could possibly go up too, is Earthquake. And I actually saw Earthquake live at the Cow Palace when I was a kid too. Like he was going around with his tag team partner, Tugboat, or Typhoon, as you want to call him. But I actually love that the fact that they've made this larger buck for him. And so, there's a lot of wrestlers with all different shapes and sizes, and, definitely Earthquake is represented here, and you can get his Earthquake look and his tag team, the Natural Disasters look, which is cool. So I'm super excited about that.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll do his Canadian edition, because at one point he was part of the Canadian conglomerate, right? Like it was a few Canadian wrestlers, and I remember Earthquake being one of those guys. This was like way before Tugboat. Yeah, I mean, like it's always great to see Earthquake. I think he shares a similar buck to, if I'm not mistaken, the Andre the Giant buck that they had made for the WWE, the Masters of the WWE universe. So that was one we never saw here in Canada. Like not even a sniff of that. It was
geez.
Yeah.
We barely got it in the States. Yeah.
Yeah.
And as if you remember, he had to be packed with his boots literally off of him because he was too tall for the bubble. So maybe that gave them the opportunity to do these extra boots in the red color, so you can have that whole red and black and white color scheme, which is really cool. That you have the option to swap that.
This one's interesting because he does come with an extra set of boots and knee pads, and so typically, like, you don't see these figures packed. You see them packed with their whatever 10 million hands that they come with, but you never see them packed with extra boots. And so it's funny, when I saw the digital renders from Comic-Con, I was like, how are they going to actually make him? He's got blue boots. He's got his Natural Disasters outfit, but they figured it out. Was pack him with an extra set of shoes.
So, am I seeing that right? So his blue is sculpted, but the Earthquake Natural Disaster is a soft goods, which goes.
Yes.
It's an overlay. Yep. That's clever. That is very, very clever.
It is clever. Yeah, I really like the way that they did that. And yeah, I think when I was looking at the I always wonder like how they tool this stuff or how they think about it. And this was the perfect way, because that it hides the blue. You take the boots off and replace them with the red ones, and it's perfect. And you have a tag team like the NWO.
Yeah, that's great. And I wonder if Walmart's going to put Wave 4 back up for pre-order at all, because they actually canceled my Typhoon pre-order, so that kind of bumps me out.
Well, that was your fault.
Missing half my tag team.
That was your fault for canceling one of them. They canceled them both.
It was, because I was able to get Macho Man from Paul Mart, because I did review Macho Man versus Mr. T on toyhabits.com. Be sure to check that out, guys, because that was a really fun article. I did a review in a totally different way. It was kind of like the Macho Man versus Mr. T showdown. So be sure to check that article out, because I had a little too much fun with it. But yes, it was my fault, because I went in to click my cancel order on a Macho Man, and it wiped out Typhoon at the same time. But that's just a side note, because it bummed me out.
That's funny. Yeah, so I guess in addition to the the wrestling figures, the Star Wars figures, we also have, there's a slew of GI Joe classified series figures. And I know that in the past, the GI Joe retro collection classified series figures were Walmart exclusives, and that line has runneth out with the retro Cobra Commander Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander that came with the HasLab Hiss tank. And so I don't know, like, could any of these be fair game for the for a Walmart collector con? So, you know, or, you know, we also have that fan stream that's coming up from GI Joe on March 8th. So yeah, I don't know if any of these could be potentially a Walmart exclusive, but typically they've had something GI Joe related. So
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
go ahead, Toy Sorceress. You should go.
oh no, I was asking what you were thinking, Jay. I want to know your thoughts.
Oh, okay. um, I mean, yeah, no, so up here in Canada we have Toys R Us, and generally we have to wait before any of that stuff comes up here. Sometimes the Walmart exclusives do rear their heads, but generally speaking, I don't think it's going to be the Trouble Bubble or the or any of the 2-packs. I think the 2-packs are just too niche to be part of a Walmart exclusive. I think that either of the vehicles will probably be a hard sell as well, but you never know. I think Snow Job, considering how many accessories it comes with, I think that would probably be their choice. The reason I say that is because if we're to believe, which we should, what Scott Knightlick says, you need a partner to actually get out, you know, the figures for lines. A pack out like Snow Job, which has just a lot of stuff, is kind of pricey, and because of that, having a partner like Walmart who can really move that stuff would be ideal. I also think that maybe Wetsuit might also be another candidate, and
Definitely.
I think the others would probably, like a few of the others would probably go to Target. I think all the red colors, you know, pardon the pun, but I think all the red colors would definitely probably be a Target, tie-in. It seems to be their MO these days, you know, having Cobra Island and all these type of ideas, right? So anything red on the background seems to be there. I want that. That they seem to be like, I'm picking that one. You know, it's a.
I wonder if that was a like subliminal message, you know, like these are going to be Target exclusives, so we're using the red background on them.
I think it's true. I think that's how they determine these things in a lot of ways.
It's that dang predatory marketing.
It is. And Jay, out of all of these, which one are you the most excited about? Like, what's your favorite out of the whole group?
Honestly, it's a toss up. There's a lot of great things. There's a lot of great figures here. I mean, like Trouble Bubbles, you can't go wrong with them. You know, Shipwreck. I mean, classic Shipwreck. I mean, he's the anti-hero. You know what I mean? He's a lazy bum.
Yeah.
But you know what? He has a heart. He has a heart of gold. Even though he's obsessed with women. You know what I mean? He genuinely cares, right? And he's in one. If you're in psychology, he was in one episode that was just a complete mindfuck. I mean, like seriously, they screwed with him. They screwed with his mind. He was literally mentally tortured. Like, and as a kid, I remember watching that episode, and I was sort of disturbed by it, honestly. You know, and realizing right at the end that it was just a simulation, right? It was just so it was creepy. It was creepy.
Yeah,
Back, right?
I mean, as a kid watching that,
Yeah.
you know, you like, and then you rewatch it as an adult, and you're like, wait a minute.
Am I supposed to be seeing this?
You know, if you haven't seen it, guys, search it out. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, guys, search it out. It's a weird episode, and watching it as an adult, you're gonna get some creepy ass vibes. It's literally like watching an episode of Dexter, and you know, not knowing what's going on, and then you know he has a realization that he's a serial killer. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, that's definitely one of those days where I was, you know, there were some fun episodes, but that was just a creepy episode. And you know, some of my favorite episodes out there were the Viper. You know, I Vipe Windows. You know, like those are those cute little episodes that really make you laugh. But that one was just, I was just out of this world. Like I don't know, I don't know what to think of it. Like you have to watch it yourself to really understand. The other one that really kind of was a psychological mind trip was Low Light. When they were using when they were using the psychic probes to keep the Joes having nightmares every night.
Oh yeah.
And then, you know, they couldn't get to sleep, so they all had sleep deprivation. And the only one who could get to sleep was Low Light because he was able to battle his inner demons. That had implications in and of itself that were like, who's writing these episodes? Like, seriously, like, wow, crazy.
Like people's inner demons are coming out when they're writing these things, right?
Yeah.
But
So let sound off in the chat. What's your what Joe character are you guys most excited about? We want to know. How about you,
yeah,
Michael? Which one's your favorite?
um, so I think my favorite of all time is always has been Scrap Iron, just because I have such a love for him as a kid, and I love the huge drone that he's coming with, and it kind of mirrors that vintage, the kind of the top part, before it connects to the wheels, kind of really mirrors that vintage rocket launcher. And so, just seeing oversized rockets, the blast effects, and just the way that they put Scrap Iron together, I think really hits that nostalgia button for me. I think a close second would be the Televiper and the Trouble Bubble. Like, I loved the Trouble Bubble, and I would love to get multiple of those, because I'm gonna stick the twins in there. I'm gonna stick the Crimson Guard. I'm like, everybody who rode a Trouble Bubble is gonna get in it. So it's gonna be a very costly venture when these
These
things
guys.
come out. So yes, exactly,
They
exactly. But
they need their ride.
yes, I wanted to circle back to a comment that a punk with toys made, and he has a great YouTube channel, and if you get a chance, go see him and subscribe. And it's funny, I'd totally forgotten about the retro Firefly that they had talked about. So I know that we've heard rumors on his tank that after the Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander from the HasLab his tank, that they're not going to make any retro figures. And so maybe is it going to be a retro Firefly just kind of packed in that windowless box, or kind of how they're moving forward with making retro figures? I have no idea, but that's a great point. A punk with toys.
Fantastic. So, Baroness of Toys says Shipwreck and Snow Job. Those are my two favorites as well. I'm really looking forward to Shipwreck. I've been waiting for him for a very long time, because he's like one of those classic characters, and to be this far into the line without Shipwreck yet is like a travesty for me. So I'm just kind of like waiting for him, because I've got like a whole boat here full of the GI Joe reaction sailors sitting down here. So I really want my 6-inch version of Shipwreck. And of course, I do have my vintage Shipwreck sitting back here. He's hard to see, but that's the one that I am most excited about. So Baroness of Toys, I totally agree with you. And that snow job is absolutely beautiful with all of that gear that he comes with. That one I'm super excited about as well.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So we got Stephen, all of them, of course. Yes, I mean they're doing a bang up job with the later figures in this line. So yeah, I mean we'll definitely probably expect I think they're doing these waves in 5s now, so we'll probably expect to see some figures go up for pre-order on March 8th after the Hasbro Pulse live stream. But I would really love them to, I mean, not that I want them to put a figure up in the collector con mix, but it's just another figure that we could may or may not get access to. So I'm torn.
Yeah, that it's like I'm kind of wishing subconsciously that it's one that I don't want too much, because that way I won't have to stress out and get FOMO about not getting it. So I'd rather one of my favorite figures be a mainline character and not Walmart exclusive. So
Yeah.
it's kind of going both ways. You get excited about it, but then you worry that you're not going to be able to get one.
Yeah. The Troop Builder packs, Paul, and the Cobra vehicle sets, I think are really neat. Like, I think they're doing a lot more with the Troop Builders, and especially the Steel Corpse figures, I think are really cool. Like, I think that definitely sets up a grand slam in the future. They just have to make that little platform that he jumps off of, so they could totally make the jump out of this as well. So, like, really cool stuff.
Yeah.
I'm,
Torpedo, you need
I'm
the face.
yeah, no, yeah, and the thing is, I'm hoping that like we've seen a few of these live examples in the last Pulse stream, and I'm hoping that we see a lot more. I would love to see the Televipers. I would love to see the this upcoming March 8th. I would love to see Scrap Iron. I would love to see all these guys in person. I think that is something that I think we all need to see prior to that. but you know what? There's a lot of there's a lot of controversy going around with Hasbro proper right now. I mean, you know, I don't want to bring up too many things, but um, I am concerned a little bit, and I just wanted to bring this up that along with some of the layoffs that have been happening at Hasbro right now, and surprisingly, I don't know if you guys heard, you probably have, that Mattel just laid off about 10% of their staff.
Yeah.
That was
Yep.
shocking, but not. It was shocking, but truthfully not unexpected. I mean, it really is just one of those unfortunate things. And you know what? The what really sort of concerns me to a certain degree is that it's particularly with GI Joe. One of the main sculptors, I can't remember his name right now. It's escaping me. I don't know if you guys remember what his name is, but his
Yeah.
contributions were very significant.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
unfortunately,
Yep.
he's now no longer part of the team. And I am a little bit concerned too because for anybody, okay, so I'm gonna throw somebody on the bus here. But last night, I think after you left, Michael, uh, logged off. Sorry, after you logged off, Ken from Toy Connection started flexing how he got pretty much the latest wave of Falcon. Who basically he had the whole wave, and
Oh wow.
the rest of us were like, me and Hatter were like, what the heck? But obviously, we were also like, okay, you've got them right, but have you opened Falcon, because Falcon's face apparently in certain shots is pretty messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I am concerned
Yeah.
that if
Mhm.
the sculptor, give me 1 second, I'll find out what his name is. But chime in on that. Once I find his name, I'll jump back in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. No,
what are your thoughts
he
on
was
that?
doing a
Like,
wonderful job. Hmm. But
Yeah.
you have to think about it though, because Falcon's been obviously in production for quite some time, and those layoffs happened kind of quite recently. So it begs the question: did this main sculptor work on Falcon's head sculpt or not? Because the rest of the figures just look amazing, and Falcon's head, no disrespect to whoever sculpted it, but it's something's just way off about him. So I don't know if that main sculptor worked on it, but now you got to worry about, well, what's the quality going to be of the head sculpts from the figures going forward?
Yeah, it's I think it's really sad when you like, we obviously care so much about the people who design this stuff. They are front and center
Mhm.
in the live stream showing off their work. And so it creates kind of that personal connection. And when you hear somebody getting, laid off, who is very talented and just I would say just a victim of what corporations do when they need to cut costs. And I think, Jay, I've heard you say this time and time again, it doesn't have to be like this. Like, I agree. And
Agree.
there has to be other ways to do this. Like, can they produce less of, maybe 100,000 SKU less figures to like save somebody's job? Who knows? But I really don't
Hmm.
know what. I mean, I have worked in the corporate world for the last 23 years, and so I know what goes on behind the scenes, and it really comes down to the almighty dollar in the end, which is very unfortunate because we make all these connections with these folks who are showing us their work and obviously super talented. So it's just
Yeah,
it's a
that's kind of
shame.
sad. And I believe his name was Corey. That's the sculptor we were talking about, right? That's what that Chaz says.
Yes. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. What's up, Chaz?
Corey.
How are you, my
Yeah.
friend?
Hey, Chaz. How's it going? Yeah, so
So
I mean, it is sad, and you got to think, are there other, and it's never a a good thing, obviously, when a company has to lay off employees, and it's sad for anyone to have to lose their jobs. But when you have somebody so key to like a core team as as somebody like the sculptor for the product that you're selling, I don't know if that's the best business decision. If you have to cut costs, maybe they could have reduced costs and saved his job, because if you have a poor sculpt on the product that you're trying to sell, I mean that's kind of
that's horrible.
counterintuitive. and it's not going to help your business get any better. So I don't know if that was the smartest move on Hasbro's
Yeah,
part.
if you actually, Michael, if you or Toy Sorceress, if you want to share the screenshot I just put in the yeah.
Oh yeah, thank you.
So yeah, this is Corey, and a lot of people have called him Dr. Mindbender because he's got the glasses and he's got
Oh yeah.
the head
Hmm.
sculpt, right, and
Hmm.
the goatee, so and the mustache, and yeah, this is his wife is the one who actually made this post on her Instagram saying, "Wow, Hasbro lost a really dedicated action figure sculptor in my husband. He completely built Power Rangers Lightning Collection and GI Joe classified lines from the ground up. He was dedicated to advancements in articulation and engineering of figures. He cared. I just can't believe today is real hashtag layoff season." Like, that is a sad and really
That is,
sobering message.
Yeah.
That is just frightening.
It
yeah.
is, and these things come out of nowhere too, and you know it's very shocking because you know if you have been laid off, you know how it feels, and it doesn't feel good, and you know it's like you always are thinking like, was it me? Is it me? Did I do something? But in cases like this, I would say no. Like he was doing a phenomenal job, and you know
Mhm.
definitely be sorely missed.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm certain he's not going to have any shortage of offers from, like, you know,
No.
places like, I imagine the Four Horsemen would be interested in talking to him. I imagine that
Uh-huh.
Hasbro, sorry, that Mattel would probably be. I'm sure Super Seven should definitely talk to this guy, like 100%.
Yeah.
They should talk to him. But if it's true
He,
what she says, that he was instrumental in making the Power Rangers Lightning Collection initiatives, some of the choices were, again, the production end of it is always a difficult hit and miss, because, you know, we have known that the painting on the Power Rangers collection hasn't been the best, but that's not his fault. You know, in terms of like the overall
yeah.
sculpts, we know that the underlying sculpt work is there. He was there for all that, whether he's a supervisor or not. The reality is, and it really hits home when his wife says that he was dedicated to advancement, articulation, and engineering figures, then he cared. It's
Yeah.
hard to find someone in their job, and you know what, if you watch, I'm sure everyone's watched the fan streams. He's really excited when he presents these figures, right? And he helps to
Yeah.
also direct the photography shoots, so you can tell he has a
Mhm.
passion for these figures in general. And the reality is that when we see the classified series where it began to where it is right now, if he was the one who was in some small way instrumental to all of that, that means we can thank him for many of the revivals of the figures, you know, as they are. And because a lot of people would have dropped the line
Yeah.
after the first wave, because a lot of people were just not into it, compared to you know, more traditional GI Joe figures. And
Yeah.
yeah, it really
Well,
is a sobering message to see.
yeah, and I mean it's unfortunate. I don't know who makes the business decision to kind of course correct and move towards more of that homage to the vintage figures, because I think that's when the classified line really took off. We were all a little bit, you know, turned off by the line in the first and second waves, and then all of a sudden when they started harkening back to those real American hero figures that we all grew up loving, that's when like classified just went through the roof. And all of these new reveals that we just looked at coming up for the Walmart con is just exactly what we're looking for. They're all retro inspired, vintage inspired figures. And now that that Corey's gone, I don't know who's kind of directing that, you know, artistic vision for the line moving forward, but it makes you kind of worry a little bit. You know, what is the future for classified, if he's not kind of driving the bus in terms of sculpt and design.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. It's definitely it's a difficult situation, and you know definitely wish Corey the best, and yeah he can
Mhm.
definitely land on his feet, but it's always stressful trying to
Yeah.
find.
Well, he's got a really bright future ahead of him. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many places he can go to, and they're all really going to benefit from his amazing talent. So it was Hasbro's loss, and all of our losses too in the classified line.
Yes, totally. And wanted to switch gears and talk about the Motu predictions that might come, might not come for Walmart Collector Con. And so, you know, there's always in the back of our heads, Boss Man has always been earmarked for a Walmart exclusive. is it time for Mossman to finally make his debut in the Origins line? Please.
Again, we talk about false scarcity. We talk about collector cons. I'm very worried. I really am. I mean, it could be the situation with the Viper Island situation, where the rarity, the exclusivity for that was brought back for Holothon, and people were able to pick them up, and thank goodness, because I remember at the height of the Baroness kerfuffle. A Baroness was selling for $120.
Yes.
I mean, it was
Oh, gosh.
ridiculous.
That is ridiculous.
And then some people had bid it up to $160. It was just ridiculous. It was absolutely. And now I can't go into any Toys R Us without tripping over 6 Baronesses. I mean, it's just ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like just they completely screwed that up. Like it was and I get it. The pandemic, I get it, all the things that led up to it, but you know what? There's got to be a better way, as we've talked about today. There's got to be a better way, and I'm hoping that he's not just a collector con exclusive.
I hope
I'm hoping that there's ample, and knowing Mattel, I can't see it. I just can't. And I'm hoping that he's a decently priced, and not because of the exclusivity aspect of it. It's always a hit and miss on that level, and just crazy. But yes, it's about time. Like we definitely, whether he's at the collector con, in my opinion, or whether he's just out in the wild, I'm ready. I'm totally ready.
Yeah, I think everybody else is too, and like every single comment that I hear about people waiting for characters from the Origins line, it's been, I think there's 3. There's Mossman, there's Cyclone, and I think one other one that people really, really want in the line. That could be like,
I've been asking for Mossman since the line began. Right?
Yeah.
Every time they have teased Mossman on the back of a package, I've been like begging for him. And the day that they announced him over at the 40th anniversary presser at Mattel and El Segundo, I was through the moon. And then all of a sudden they said, "Oh, here's Mossman, blah, blah, blah." And then they go into, "Oh, and he's a Walmart exclusive." And I was like, no. I think we all had that same reaction, because I'm like, God, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to get him.
No.
Yes, we need Mossy to come home, Baroness of Toys. But yeah,
it's not only getting him, but like getting him in like decent condition for our collectors that keep stuff mint on card. Like I open 90% of my stuff. I basically only keep the the carded wall stuff. It's Star Wars retro collection or some of the GI Joe retro O-ring figures, but yeah, I'm really worried with the condition of every single Mossman, and they better put these things in a bulletproof box and not those stupid bubble mailers, because everybody's going to be so upset.
You really think you have any hope in Walmart's packaging practices?
I am sort of the opinion that much like their direct sale items, special editions like this, especially with the deluxe editions, should come in mailer boxes. I mean, like what are they called? Transformers Direct figures right now. They are in the plainest, literally no frills boxes. Whenever for anybody who collects Transformers Selects, it's just a brown box. You open it up and the figure's inside. Right, it's got a little bit of an illustration on the front. It literally is what Unicron came in, for anybody who picked up Unicron, which again burns my biscuit for many reasons. For I mean, I paid $650 for that thing, and freaking came in a brown box. I mean, come on. I expect a little bit more, and that's the whole point. I expect more. The other really big problem with all the Motu and the GI Joe retro cards. Use thicker freaking cardstock, for crying out loud! Like, come on, you're making me hunt these things down anyway. Use freaking thicker cardstock. Like, come on, this thing is what are they called? Wafer crackers. This thing literally is wafer crackers. And you guys, yeah, exactly. Your latest poor poor cards, man. Like they have seen better days.
So
I gotta tell you.
take a look at your app. Oh, sorry. I wanted to show you actually a comparison between this is a vintage collection, R2D2. You know, it was like $14.99, and this is that new retro collection, which was $11.99, and it came. And this is from EE, which usually ships things mint. So I'm sure they tried their darndest, and then poor Michael got his bent. But why can't Hasbro ship them on these same card backs? They have them available. They can print on them. I don't understand what is up with these thin card backs. And please get rid of that faux wearing around the edges. Go ahead, Michael. I'm done.
Yeah, I was
on
just
my
like
rant.
this is the worst out of the lot, but I think what's happening is with the, you know, with the economy, or is it cost cutting or whatever, it's like I think they reverted back to a much thinner cardstock, and this thing is horrible. It's bent, it's creased, and you know, EE ships everything mint. Like they have a mint guarantee, and I'm guessing that they did not do this. This came out of the case like this, and they just packed it up and shipped it, which, you know.
Yeah, but by that notion,
I mean,
and
go ahead, Jay.
okay,
Go ahead.
I was gonna say by that notion, you know, they probably will honor that, you know, guarantee.
Yeah.
But the reality is that, as you said, the cost cutting initiatives, right? It's a little bit of freaking paper. I mean, out of the entire process, right? That's probably the cheapest thing in the whole scenario, right? Of all things to cut down on. And you know what? They've already recommitted to the idea that they've already recommitted to the idea that anything vintage or retro will not have plastic free packaging. I can't see, and I'm gonna stop short of saying, you know, hypocrisy, but actually I just said it. But anyway, I'm just gonna say that, you know, you're gonna cherry pick what you want to do, and I get that. The reality is people are gonna get upset if you can if it's supposed to be a classic edition, like, you know, an homage to the originals, 5.5 inch, you know, 3.3 inch scale, right? Then what are you doing, right? So I totally get it, but you know that these are collector's items. You know that people are looking to keep these mint on card. You should be making them. I mean, do you guys have any of the prototypes?
Yes, I do. I do have the X-Wing Luke.
They are ridiculously thick cards.
Yes,
they are stupidly thick cards.
Yes.
What happened?
And what's the price on those?
Why
are they? What
they're
price
twice
are they still?
They're like I think if a regular vintage figure is $18, I think that one's like 25 or something like that, isn't it? Like,
okay.
I don't know. I forget.
So what I was going to say
pre-ordered
was
these, and I was like, I don't remember how much they cost, but yeah, they are ridiculously thick, and yeah, they're probably maybe 10 times as thick as these Return of the Jedi ones. And
I'm not even asking for that, but you know, I would gladly pay $3 more. Like I said, this is $14.99 and this is $11.99. I would gladly pay the extra $3 to at least have, I mean, and this isn't like the best card back, but it is a huge improvement over what we got on the retro collection. So Hasbro, if you're listening, charge us a couple more bucks and give us some quality cards. I mean, this, as far as a 40th anniversary for Return of the Jedi, you guys are not doing them justice, guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I bought an extra set to keep close, and I'm going to just sell them all.
I just looked it up. The prototype Chewbacca is only $13.99. Like I like up here in Canada, he's like $24, right?
Geez.
Wow. But yeah, so I mean, like,
it's only a couple more bucks.
It's only a couple more bucks, and it's got foil. It's got foil reflective, you know, printing. Like, seriously, what are you doing? Add the extra $1 and let the collectors, you know, be happy. Like, this is just nuts. You can throw a baseball at that collector, that retro card. I'm pretty sure it's going to be fine. It's ridiculous.
Oh, totally. Yes, and Troy, yeah, I agree. I think it's part combination of trying to make these things detectable and not passing them off as vintage. So I guess that's where around the edges come from. But from a cardstock perspective, like, do at least do Return the Jedi justice. You know, you told me this, Toy Sorceress, about the Wave 1 Star Wars Retro Collection, you buy them in the pack from, that 6-pack or from Disney, their cardstock is much thicker than the ones that you got at Target. So I chose to do that.
It is. And I would rather them have sold it like that as a 6-pack. And as a matter of fact, the ones from Disney that do have the thicker cardstock are a little bit more glossier. So you could easily heat up this little sticker with just a hair dryer and peel it right off, because the cardback quality is nice. And so then you can have a clean image. These, don't even try it, because you're just going to destroy the cardback. And
I actually did those too. All of mine back here. I didn't touch some of the Return of the Jedi ones, but or sorry, Empire Strikes Back ones yet. But I was afraid that I would mess them up.
Don't do those, Michael. Don't do those, because those are not the same cardbacks.
Okay.
Only the 6-pack of the New Hope that you got, because those are a different cardstock. And that reminds me that they are going to be releasing soon enough the second half of the first 12 figures that include like the Tusken Raider, C-3PO, R2-D2, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the Death Squad Commander are supposed to come in a 6-pack. They showed them off at San Diego Comic-Con. They have yet to put them up, but somebody did report seeing them, I think on sale at some store, that they weren't supposed to have them out yet. Actually, was at Frankenstein's, now that I remember. There was a package of that 6-pack spotted at Frankenstein's. It was a retailer that was not supposed to have it yet. So hopefully that pre-order is coming imminently. And I'm praying that those are on the thicker cardstock. Enough said, because I need my minty C-3PO and R2-D2. Can't wait to get some of those.
Man, Frankenstein's is a gold mine of just stuff that
there's something going on there. So somebody must know somebody at the back of a truck, and it's just keep falling off, because something's up.
Get off the truck.
I just don't know. Like it hit. There's a pothole right in the front of Frankenstein. Every time they come by, it literally hits that pothole. A whole 3-package, a ton of packages just get thrown out the back, and Bob's your uncle. But I mean, we know now, right? And it's not even a joke anymore. But you know what? I'm always of the opinion that nothing happens by accident. I really do have to wonder if these things are just showing up because, you know what, it's basic market research. I really do wonder, just to see if they put these out just for free advertising. Because Toy Sorceress, you said it the other day, they do these things, right? They leak this information out on purpose, right? You like if this was real internal espionage, they keep this shit tight, really tight-lipped. It's so hard for anything to get out these days. If you don't want it to get out, it's not going to get out, but it gets out. Why? It's impossible. Okay, it's nearly nigh impossible. So, nobody wants to do their job.
Purposeful leaks. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of stuff getting out, Duplico, right? And so I think we also heard from sources that Duplico is going to be a Walmart exclusive, but Walmart always gets the Target exclusives, Walmart exclusives. He's a wizard. I don't know how he does this, but people have Duplico in hand already, and this is this is probably another contender that we could possibly see go up for CollectorCon. Mm-hmm. Which would be nice,
as a matter of fact,
we need to buy them.
We do, and I did get some intel that Duplico showed up very briefly yesterday at the Mattel store in El Segundo, and they only had probably about 4 or 5 figures. They limit it to one figure character per person, and I guess they sold out right away, because I did have somebody that I know try and go to the Mattel store today for me, and they were totally wiped out. So. But he's out there, and my theory is that we do have that Instagram page of Roy Juarez, who loves to post the package art for different Motu characters, and in his classic style, he did Wave 8 of the Masterverse figures last week, and the very next day, after all of those Wave 8 figures he did one by one were revealed, they sure enough started popping up for pre-order on EE and Big Bad Toy Store. Now I'm hoping, since Roy did leak these pictures 2 days ago or so, that maybe Duplico is now imminent. I don't know when, but we did include his official images on on our post on our website. So, just again, this is my own theory and maybe wishful thinking that maybe that's a sign that he may be coming to order.
I hope so. And can somebody explain to me the appeal of Duplico? Like, this is the first ruler of the sun figure that people are going gaga for, and I don't understand it, and I really want to know. Like, do we have any insight into this? Like, why are people going so crazy for this figure? And also, if you look at completed items on eBay, some of these things are going for $435, $500. Most of them are going between, like, normal, like, scalper price, 50 to 80 bucks. But I can't believe some of these completed item prices. But what is the appeal?
I was going to bring up the $300 listings, and I feel sorry for all these people who must have it first, and they're every single, like, whoever rolls the dice on this whenever it comes on eBay the first time, like, you're either really, really lucky and you hit the jackpot, right, as a scalper, and you're making $300+ whatever, or you know what, you're only going to make 50, 60 bucks, right? But no matter what, those are inflated prices regardless. And there's been the argument that, and actually, Clybera Lira actually is bringing up a good point. If you want to bring that one up, Michael.
Yes.
I think it's Clybera Lira. I apologize for that. He says, guys, about MOTU Origins Waves 10 and 11 and 12 didn't arrive in Brazil. Anybody who wants to buy the 3 waves is all the way to, I think it's a little, oh no, it ran away.
Sorry, I can't find it.
No, it's okay. It was at 7:33 p.m.
Oh, here. Is this it?
You got it. You got it.
No.
Furthermore, the Brazilian customer is carrying out a veritable witch hunt for. Yeah, exactly. Anyone who wants to buy the 3 waves has to import them, and there's the problem, right? Because, Clebert, I apologize, my friend, Clebert Lira. He's hitting the nail on the head. If you can't get them and you need to complete your collection, if you're a completist, you will import these, right?
Yeah.
At this price, I'm not really sure that's viable for anybody. This is just people with stupid money. But the $55 price tag, I can see people making that jump. Why he's in particular selling? My only, and this is just a guess, is he looks pretty close to He-Man.
Yeah.
I think that's the only thing I can think of. Yeah, and he's got Shockwave in his hand. I think that's what it is. I think that's that's what it is.
Yeah. I love him just because he reminds me of Laser from American Gladiators, and growing up in the 80s, that was my favorite gladiator of the whole bunch. So I'm like, ooh, it'd be cool to get an Origins figure of him.
That's so funny. Yeah, I think I think you're right. I think it's a mix of both, and I love that Shockwave reference because I was like, wait, yeah, you're right. He does have Shockwave in there. It's another cool little accessory that he comes with. But I think somebody also mentioned too that he also looks like a New Adventures. He could fit in the New Adventures line. It's interesting.
I mean, when he first came out, I got him mixed up. I thought he's missing a sword. The New Adventures He-Man, and he has very similar sculpt. This guy is. I actually love this figure because unlike the Masterverse one's really cool, but this one, he's got the brown chest armor here that looks just like the cartoon. So in the cartoon, this was brown, and then on the new Masterverse figure we got, it's like a gold color. But this guy's rad, and that's I think Duplico reminds people a lot of this He-Man too.
Yes. I wanted to throw another last figure into the mix for Walmart Collector Con. So, we do a lot of digging around the Walmart site. We actually discovered and published another mystery listing that we found on Walmart. And so we were like, okay, Mini Comic Manny Faces it's due up in the line. And like Duplico is going to be a 5th figure to an upcoming wave. And so that got us thinking, okay, could Mini Comic Manny Faces be that, kind of be a Walmart exclusive and be that 5th figure to accompany that wave like Duplico is? So it's another, it's probably a stretch, but there is a test shot that Charlie or Carlos from that MOTU Origins and WWE Superstars group actually got in hand, and he was able to take these amazing pictures of what is going to be mini comic Manny Faces. So I don't know. What do you all think?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a really good theory is in terms of what that placeholder listing could be, because I think we pretty much found most of all of the other characters on Walmart's website so far. In terms of the figures that we know are the leak confirmation list of upcoming waves. And so Manny Faces was the mini comic Manny Faces was kind of one of the missing characters. So I think there's a good chance that mystery listing belongs to him. But we won't know until that listing gets closer to going live.
Yeah. What do you think about this, Jay?
Well, what I think is Mattel's got to figure out what the hell they're doing. That's what I'm thinking. I'm calling a spade a spade. For crying out loud, make some announcements. If we're gonna go ahead and put on the tinfoil hat and whatever, so many. I get so many comments. Every time I post an update, reporting on toyhabits.com's discoveries or Toy News International or Toy Arc or anybody, right? Inevitably, I'm going to get a few people who are like, basically, oh, no announcements. Finding these online in Australia. This means the line is coming to an end, and they're not kidding, right? They're actually not kidding. They're like, this smells like a death rattle. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, seriously, just because it showed up in one place doesn't mean it's dead. And the fact that we're getting so many lines, means something, right? This smells like an exclusive. It really does. We already have, we where is it? Yeah, we already have, Manny Faces, right? 2 times over now, right? He's got a new for 20. He's got a new for 20. He's got a new for 23, new for 23 sticker, new for 22 sticker.
Yep.
Right? He's got both, right? By the way, that new for 22 is gonna be expensive one day. But I mean, he's been released 2 times over, and now this is the third one. It smells like an exclusive to me. You know what I mean? This one seems like he's going to be very sought after, from the collector market, and it's just going to be like a comic book Roboto going gangbusters. I mean, like, you cannot find this guy, right? I really have to thank Toy Sorceress and Michael for letting me know, about it showing up on Entertainment Earth for like 2 seconds. Thanks, appreciate that. I mean, blink and it's gone. You know what I mean? Like, holy crap, right? It's like, I saw it.
Oh man.
Yeah.
If any of you love shopping on EE, by the way, if you use code Toy Habits on their website when you go check out on anything in stock, you get 10% off and free shipping on orders $59 or up. But the 10% off the in-stock items is awesome because that is an incredible discount. So just use that discount code on Entertainment Earth, Toy Habits, while you're at it.
Yeah,
just thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah, Black Phoenix. Why is he colored this way? It's a test shot and a prototype, so it's going to be, it's probably going to be in these classic Manny Faces comic renderings that they're doing here. So yeah, I'm sure it'll be colored a lot differently. So, but it's really cool to see though. Like, I love all the mini comic figures, but I'm dreading if this is a Walmart exclusive because, there's some figures that I like to keep on card. This might be one of them. It's kind of the special, out of the ordinary figures that I really like.
So Jay, typically, if things are, let's say, Target exclusives here in the States, because Canada, for example, doesn't have Target, do those things rapidly move over to other retailers like GameStop and Toys R Us, or is there sort of kind of like that waiting period because it is an exclusive item that it takes a little bit longer to get to you?
So yeah, it is a toss up between Toys R Us and GameStop. Generally speaking, anything GI Joe is almost guaranteed. The exclusives anyway, almost guaranteed to go to Toys R Us.
Oh, nice.
whereas it seems as if GameStop has the Hasbro Pulse exclusives. Like things show up here that if you look at just looking at my channel, you'll see I found Zartan, SDCC's Zartan Wild. I found the just anything from PulseCon or San Diego seems to show up at GameStop. It just seems like they have a partnership on that level. Whereas with Toys R Us, it's usually something in the realm of GI Joe from Target, specifically Target. Target exclusives seem to show up at Toys R Us.
Yeah, and I think typically when Target does get an exclusive, for instance, with Masterverse Beastman, for example, it was an exclusive for a few months, but then you were able to get Beastman on all sorts of fan channels like BBTS, Entertainment Earth, and I think he's on Amazon now too. So I'm hoping that with these Origins exclusives for Mossman, for example, and if Mini Comic Manny Faces turns out to be a Walmart exclusive, that maybe Walmart will only have it for the first 3 months, and then hopefully they'll be widely available at a bunch of other retailers. But that's yet to be seen. So, yeah, let's hope. But and do your Walmarts typically do a better job at stocking exclusive items, or are they scarce to find up in your area?
I've never found anything exclusive here. I'm kidding. No, no. There's a reason why I go hunting. It's because I have to. Trying to find Walmart exclusive Crosshair. You know what I mean? Imperial Crosshair. Trying to find Clone Captain Rex with his poncho. I mean, those are like I've traveled 3 cities across, sometimes 4 cities to find something, right? Like it's bad. And once it's gone, because we have availability here in Canada is very, very scarce for collector lines. It's really bad. But surprisingly enough, what ends up happening is we get them early, and I don't know why that is. These past few years, we've been very, very lucky, and it's been that difference that's really made a lot of sense for us. But other than that, yeah, that's hilarious.
That's hilarious, Clint. I heard that American Gladiators Motu line is a Canadian exclusive. More sources and Yellowknife report. You guys are hoarding all of the Duplico figures up there, aren't you?
They're all stuck up here for sure. It was but Yellowknife is hard to get for anybody to get to. So I mean, like it's only prairie land. So you're gonna go have to dig for some gophers and stuff. It's hilarious.
Definitely. All right, we're gonna wind down the live stream. It's been amazing to have Jay on, and also just to talk with everybody and just to hear everybody's thoughts on the properties that we love. Jay, tell everyone out there who I'm guessing 100% of them subscribe to your channel already, but tell them where you are and how they can see your stuff.
Well, thank you. First of all, thank you. Thanks to Toy Habits, Toy Sorceress, and Michael for having me. It's an absolute pleasure being here at a new beginning for Toy Habits, rising from adversity and all the difficulties of reporting on toys. I mean, this is not easy, as Michael has illustrated, and sometimes it is easier just to get things done at the end of the day, and as soon as news happens, you just type out something, and it's incredible that Toy Habits has built such a passionate community around them, and I'm super honored to be here for the return of Toy Habits on YouTube. I want to remind everybody to subscribe to Toy Habits on YouTube, and of course check out Toy Habits on toyhabits.com. A great resource for toy news all year round. Definitely give them a like and a follow. Tell them that Jay sent you. As for myself, I will say that you can always catch me on Mega J Retro here on YouTube, and of course I have all the regular social medias. Just look up at Mega J Retro in most cases. If that doesn't work, just type in Mega J Retro on any of your favorite social media. You should be able to see my very, very aged and weathered face, with the big bushy beard, which will probably change, and that'll be shocking for everybody. But yeah, guys, definitely come check me out if you are so inclined, and Really do appreciate all the support here for this amazing community. But guys, this is all about Toy Habits, and I'm super excited that they're back on YouTube. And guys, definitely give Toy Habits a like and a follow. You won't regret it if you haven't already, which I can't see why anybody here hasn't already done that. So, guys, thank you again for having me. This has been amazing.
Oh, you are very welcome,
So-
Jay, and you are welcome anytime on the channel. And the fun actually doesn't stop here. So Oz from Ostradamus Toys YouTube channel has invited us on his stream that starts at 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. So head over to Oz's channel later today, and we can hang out there too. Ostradamus Toys does live streaming toy talk shows on Saturday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, covers topics about collecting toy news, and has special guest interviews, open mic discussions, and hangouts. And he does a Legions class once a month with a panel of hosts to discuss mythic and cosmic legions from the Four Horsemen. That's got to be super freaking cool.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun little celebration.
Cannot wait.
So, Jay, I wanted to thank you so much for being such a amazing guest, and also for being an amazing host and allowing me and Michael to join your show on multiple occasions, letting me get my feet wet because I'm pretty new to the YouTube world. Although I've been working on the website for over a year now, I'm new, to the ToyTuber universe. So thank you so much for welcoming me. And you have such a big heart. You are amazing. I want to thank you deeply for what you do for the toy collecting community. And if you guys have not subscribed yet to Jay's channel, go over to Mega J Retro. He is amazing. He has such a great outlook and just so fun to watch. Make sure you subscribe, you like, hit that bell notification so that you're notified when Mega J's new videos are on there. And just thank you. Thank you for what you do for our community, and just for being such an amazing friend and such a great toy tuber. So Jay, you're welcome on the show anytime. Just a big shout out for you.
I do appreciate that, guys. And you know what? This community is the reason why creators like us, this community is what keeps us going. And this is these live streams, being able to connect with everybody here and really get immediate feedback from the toy lines that we love so much. This is the reason why we as creators do this, guys, and we need your support now more than ever, right? So definitely, the most important thing that you can ever do, especially for creators like us, is just to subscribe and to give us a thumbs up, or if you don't like it, give it a thumbs down, which is fine too. We're not always right, we're not always going to agree, but the conversation has to keep going, and that's really what we're only asking for, a conversation. Right. No matter what happens. The only other thing that I think any of us can really ask all of you is, for a little bit of understanding. We all have lives, and we're human beings at the end of the day. So just understand that we're reporting on news, right? We're reporting on news, and sometimes it's not the news you want to hear. That's the problem, right? And you know what? And at the risk of sounding like a broken record, having guests on, controversial ones, notwithstanding, right? We have to listen to what they say, regardless of if we agree with them or not, right? And as long as we have a conversation, we keep it open and civil, then you know what? The conversation can continue. The moment we stop blocking people from saying what they're feeling, we're not going to have a conversation, and that's the biggest problem with any small closed community. The reason why this community is so great is because we're all open, we're all willing to listen to each other. And you know what, for me specifically, Toy Habits has been an amazing resource, and I feel blessed to have the opportunity to be on this show and to have Toy Habits on my show. It's been a huge collaboration, not only through toy news itself, but also just through basic friendship in general, right? This is what we're here for. We're here to make connections, we're here to make friends. And I want to thank a huge thanks to Toy Habits for letting me be here for the relaunch of the show. And of course, the feelings mutual, Toy Sorceress, and you guys are talking about yourselves, you know what I mean? You guys are amazing, you guys are incredible. And guys, you want to be able to subscribe to these guys because they will keep you informed. And it's just a part of that. And one of the other things that I do want to remind everybody: nothing happens in a bubble. almost 90% of what we do as people who report on these things is we get information from people like you, right? You guys are our resource. You guys are our ears on the ground, right? Anytime something comes from the other side of the world, right, that's you. And you know what? You guys are just as much a part of this community, and just about as much a part of our resources and information as anybody else. So don't feel that you're not important. You are important, and everybody here is part of that ecosystem that we all cultivate. But at the end of the day, it's about community, and thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Thank you guys for all the
You know,
support. You guys are amazing.
we're happy to be here. Michael and I both have really demanding full-time jobs, and in between our free time, whatever you want to call it, that we try and get the news out to all of you as fast as we possibly could. So a little bit of patience sometimes, but we have to write these articles up, lay them out, get the images, and do all the graphics. It's just Michael and I running the toyhabits.com website. So everything that you see on there, all the content, all the shop pages, just the two of us created it. So we're trying to keep the toy community informed, because obviously we love collecting toys. We're all just like you. And the reason we wanted to come back and do this live stream once a week is to help recap the news that we've reported on during the week on the website, but also to get the community engaged, because we love to hear from you guys. We want to be able to have that interaction with everybody, and then have amazing guests on like you, Jay. So it's this first show has been fantastic. I don't know if you want to say anything in closing before we go, Michael.
Yeah, no, I think Jay, you hit the nail on the head. It's about the community, and it's not about any single one of us. It is about all of us together. And so that is what I love about this community, and that's what I loved about just starting this whole thing in general. Like, it's been amazing chatting with everyone on this Saturday afternoon. And yeah, make sure you keep up with the latest news on toyhabits.com, as this is really the fastest and most efficient way we can get you the information you need. So, but here, come back week after week and we can discuss the latest news with everyone. You can, we would love to hear your point of view as well. And so I think that's our favorite part. And Toy Sorceress, where can people find us if you want to chat or have news?
Well, definitely. The first place you want to go is toyhabits.com for all of the latest news, amazing reviews, and fantastically convenient shop pages to find links to all of the retailers for all those hard to find figures. So make sure you check out our shop pages. They're all organized, and they're super fun to shop with. You can find us on Instagram at Toy Habits Channel. You can also find us at Toy Habits Michael and the Toy Sorceress, and definitely give us a DM if you want to chat and share some information, or just have a fun conversation about toy news. And we're going to be here Saturday afternoons. Sometimes we'll have some amazingly special guests, and we'll be talking about the latest news. So I wanted to thank everybody for tuning in. Unless, Jay, you have anything else to say before we sign off. So happy hunting to everybody. We can't wait to see you next week. And thanks again for joining us for Toy Habits Live. I know it's been a long first show, but we had an amazing time.
Yes, we did. See everybody next week, and keep up with the news, and hope everybody has a fantastic weekend.
Absolutely.
Bye, y'all.
Be proud, everybody.
Bye, guys.